Hey everyone, this is Ascendance here from 4FS Gaming, and as you may have noticed, I've been trying to get content out a little bit more regularly, and at the moment I'm focusing a fair bit on Star Wars Battlefront 2. In this video, we're going to look at some tips and tricks for Starfighter Assault. Now some of these will be obvious to experienced players, although I really do think a few of them are largely unknown, and all of them are extremely helpful. Before we get stuck in, please consider hitting that subscribe button if you would like to see more of what we do, and also in the description below is a link to our Discord server, where you will find myself, the other guys from 4FS Gaming, and our growing community who are all very friendly and eager to team up on the Battlefront. So here we go, 6 tips and tricks to become the best pilot in the galaxy. Now they're in no particular order, they're not ranked, so we'll just start with something which I've learned quite recently, and I think I've incorporated it fairly well into my playstyle. It works really well. So one of the most important characteristics of any starfighter is its turn rate. Now this determines how agile you are, how easy it is to weave between objects, and circle behind an attacker or about face completely. Probably where this is most noticeable is when you're in a dogfight and you're chasing another ship around in a big circle or a loop. So how do you increase this turning rate? Well, obviously some ships such as interceptors will turn faster than heavier ships like bombers. I believe interceptors and some hero ships also have star cards that can increase the turn rate, but there is a little trick that applies to all ships that allows you to turn faster to get behind your opponents. So turning on a vertical plane is faster than turning on a horizontal plane. Now this is a fact that we will be manipulating in order to get some advantages. If you move the mouse or stick up or down, you will complete a full 360 degree turn faster than if you move the stick left or right. How much faster? Well, with an X-Wing at minimum speed, it takes 4 seconds to complete a vertical loop, and 4.5 seconds to complete a horizontal loop. Now this may not sound like much, but it can make all of the difference to get behind those pesky TIE fighters. Now in order to exploit this, you will need to use the roll on your starfighter, so that the direction that you are turning in is either up or down, not left or right. And of course there isn't really any up or down in space, so these directions are all relative to your own ship, not the environment around you. Being able to turn that 12% faster is great, but if the ship you are against is also in a vertical loop, then you lose this advantage. So we can take this trick to another level. I always try and start these pesky dogfighting loops on a horizontal plane, and then I roll the ship 90 degrees, giving you the turn speed advantage. After practicing for a while, you should get to the point where looking left or right is really only used for targeting purposes, while the rolling and pitch controls are what you use to steer. So that is a really in-depth trick, and the next one is a little bit lighter on. Sometimes you just want to race to a hero ship before someone else takes it. And yes, you can do this very quickly by having a good run against enemy fighters or the objective. However, these are usually pretty hot zones, and sometimes difficult to survive in. Another quick way to rack up battle points is to target turrets. Now they are found on stations and large ships, and usually are a bit away from the action. Even though they're turrets, they're pretty defenseless, and they give you large amounts of battle points for destroying them that you can use to spend on hero ships. Using a bomber probably gives you the fastest results when taking down turrets as well. Another slightly related trick, which is truthfully exploiting a bit of a glitch, can be used to chain together hero ships while maintaining a lot of battle points. You see, some villains, including Poe, Tali and Iden, will gain battle points back at a normal rate, as opposed to the severely reduced rate of all of the other hero ships. Picking one of these heroes first and going on a good run will allow you to get enough points to stay in a hero ship for almost the whole game, unless you get very unlucky. Now on to tip number 4, and this is about knowing your fields of fire. Various weapon systems have different fields of fire. Primary blasters and missiles shoot forward, so does laser barrage, but a tail gunner for instance will target ships in an arc to your rear, and the Y-wing ion turret will target enemies in a wide arc above your ship. Learning to capitalize upon this will greatly improve your performance. For instance, you can use the roll controls to angle the ion turret toward enemy vessels if you overshoot them on your first assault run. Or my personal favourite, when you make an attack run with a ship that has tail gunner and you don't quite manage to destroy your target, you don't necessarily have to engage in that normal dogfight loop when they turn towards you. If you keep your head in, they'll drop into a pursuit course, and then you can activate that tail gunner to finish them off. This works really well because often they don't realise you're a ship that has the tail gunner ability until it's already too late for them. Next we have what I think is probably the best tip to help you rack up kills and make a difference in a game. And that is to remember that there are many times when enemies are basically sitting ducks for your attack runs, primarily when they are lining up a run on an objective or dogfighting with a teammate. Actively look for these situations. If you see a dogfight loop going on, intervene. If you see 3 ships chasing down a friendly corvette, that's 3 free kills for you. Always hunt ships that are already busy. This not only helps your team, it helps defend the objectives, and it makes it much more expedient for you while killing the target, so you can move on to the next target a lot faster. Now of course the best chance you have to do this is when defending hero ships. Vessels like the Millennium Falcon attract a large flock of pursuers for you to pick off. In this small stretch of footage here, I managed to get 5 kills just by hitting ships who were shooting at something else and flying in a straight line. The final tip for the day is to remember that there is no up or down in space, as mentioned earlier. Although the maps seem to be laid out on a horizontal plane, this need not apply for you. Attack from below, from any odd angle, and set up your assault vectors so that they are unexpected. If you fly in directly from your spawn every single time, you'll get pretty easy to pick off. Remember, it's not Galactic Assault, it's not Strike, but in space you can still flank and pull off these flanking maneuvers just as well, even better because you're dealing with a 3D environment. And that is all for this video. I have a few more tips lying around so I could make a follow-up guide, but try experimenting with these ones for now. Thank you so much for watching. This is Ascendance from 4FS Gaming.